Six-Lehonti, Six-Lehonti, Six-Lehonti. Ever since I read about him as a young missionary back in the late 80s, early 90s, I can't help but just feel for him. The first time I read his story, my heart just went out to him. Anyway, so where are we at? We've got two armies. We have Amalickiah's army, loyal to the king of the Lamanites, and then we have Six-Lehonti's army, who had fled from Amalickiah to the hill Antipas, and they're camped out on the top of the hill Antipas, on top of the mount. It's also called a mount. So we have what I guess you could call loyalists versus separatists. Amalickiah's armies, they were the loyalists, and Six-Lehonti's army, well, they were the separatists. So Six-Lehonti, they see Amalickiah's army approaching, and so they're getting ready to defend themselves. They're preparing for battle. And what does Amalickiah do? He takes his army and he surrounds the mount with his army. And so they're camped out, and it's kind of a stalemate. Then by night, Amalickiah sends a secret embassy, or in other words, representatives up the mount to persuade Six-Lehonti to come down for a chat with Amalickiah. And Six-Lehonti, bless his heart, he didn't dare go down. Rightly so. 3 times Amalickiah tried to get Six-Lehonti to come down the mount to have a chat, and 3 times he failed. So Amalickiah finally goes up the mount almost to the top where Six-Lehonti's army is camped, and he sends a message to Six-Lehonti to come out with his guards and have a chat with Amalickiah. And so Six-Lehonti, feeling a little more courage because now he's in his own turf with his own guards, he comes out and he has a chat with Amalickiah. Amalickiah says, look, I don't want to fight, but I'll tell you what, if you take your army, come down by night, surround my army, I will deliver up my army into your hands if you make me second in command to you. And Six-Lehonti, well, this is where his faculties break down, his smarts, and he agrees. There's a very important lesson here to learn for us, and I'm going to leave that to you to ponder. Anyway, so in the night, Six-Lehonti and his army, they go down the mount and surround Amalickiah's army that's camped around the hill Antipas. And when Amalickiah's army wakes up in the morning, they see that they're surrounded, and now they're worried. And so they beg Amalickiah, hey, let us fall in with Six-Lehonti's army. And Amalickiah says, all right. And now they're all one big army. And Six-Lehonti is now in charge of the whole army. And so in Alma chapter 47, let's see. So, Alma 47, chapter 47, verses 17 through 19, we read, now it was the custom among the Lamanites, if their chief leader was killed, to appoint the second leader to be their chief leader. And it came to pass that Amalickiah caused that one of his servants should administer poison by degrees to Six-Lehonti, that he died. Now when Six-Lehonti was dead, the Lamanites appointed Amalickiah to be their leader and their chief commander. These Lamanites were textbook lemmings. And now Amalickiah gets his way. He's moving up the ranks, and he is now in command over all of the armies of the Lamanites. And this is what the king wanted. Now they're getting ready to go to battle. So Amalickiah takes this big army back to the king. And in verse 22 we read, but behold, as the king came out to meet him, Amalickiah caused that his servants should go forth to meet the king, and they went and bowed themselves before the king, as if to reverence him because of his greatness. And it came to pass that the king put forth his hand to raise them, as was the custom with the Lamanites, as a token of peace, which custom they had taken from the Nephites. And it came to pass that when he had raised the first from the ground. Behold, he stabbed the king to the heart, and he fell to the earth. So now the king is dead. To be continued.